All right, hey, what's going on, Ryan? I wanted to just bring you on to really tell our consumers, tell our clients, tell our people who trust us for information about kind of different strategies that are still out there to still get a property. Now, I know in the real estate market, as far as our side goes, is a huge thing is buying down interest rate. I mean, there's sellers across the board that are putting down, literally will give 2% seller concessions off the rip to buy your interest rate down. So talk about what kind of options are there as far as let's say a normal FHA buyer, just a standard everyday buyer. How far can they get that interest rate down in today's time, right now, if they were to go purchase?
Marshall, that's a great question. So one of the things that we're seeing in the marketplace coming back is seller concessions. Seller concessions is the seller giving money towards the transaction for the benefit of the buyer. In any mortgage transaction, when you buy a house, there's always two sets of costs. You have a down payment and you have closing costs. And the closing costs can be paid for by the seller. You go back a couple of years ago where there was a housing shortage, not a lot of homes on the market. It was really difficult when there's so many buyers with so few homes for sale to be able to get seller concessions. Well, the script's been flipped. There is a lot of homes on the market. There's not a lot of buyers. It's a buyer's market. Buyers have options. Getting money from the seller can save you a lot of money. And really, with a interest rate buy down, there's two types of buy downs that are available. You can do a temporary buy down or you can do a permanent rate reduction. So with a permanent rate reduction, what you're doing is you're taking money from the seller to permanently reduce your interest rate forever on your mortgage. And typically, if you get 3% of your loan amount and you apply that towards an interest rate buy down, that's going to buy down your rate about 1%. And 1% savings on a $400,000 loan is typically about $250 a month. And so that's a significant amount of money, $3,000 a year being saved forever on your mortgage. A 2-1 buy down or a temporary buy down simply takes money from the seller and reduces your interest rate on the very first year by 2% of whatever your mortgage interest rate is. So if rates are at 7, you have a 5% interest rate for 1 year. And then the next year, they reduce that interest rate by 1%. And it's called a 2-1 buy down. And that savings typically is $500 a month on a $400,000 mortgage for the first year and $250 a month for the second year. It's a temporary buy down. It's not quite as expensive as actually buying down the rate permanently, but it does give you a lot of relief to save a lot more money in the very beginning when you acquire a home. And that's good for a buyer because when you buy a home, there's always additional expenses, things you want to do to the house, and it gives you an opportunity to have more money in your pocket. It really has never been a better time to buy. And the reason being, even with rates where they're at, is you can get such a better price on the home. 1 year ago, people were overpaying for the value of the home. And nowadays, sellers are willing to negotiate and get a lot better price. You can't change that price you buy it for. You can change the rate depending upon what happens in the market. All the experts are saying rates are going to come back down. It's really a phenomenal time to buy. You want to date the rate, marry the home, and divorce paying rent. It is a good time to buy with rates even being where they're at, and there's never been more options for buyers than there are right now because of the current state of the market.
I love that. Date the rate, marry the house, divorce the rent. It's going to be one of my new favorite sayings. So my buyers out there, maybe write that on your mirror. There's never a better time to get you guys a home, especially when you have a solid team behind you. We're here for information to support you guys any way we can. If anything else comes up, feel free to leave a comment, shoot me an email, give me a call. You guys all have my information. We'll talk to you guys again soon.